We get together here on Wednesday evenings and talk about the early days of single sideband. A lot of us are on vacuum tube radios. Sometimes folks come by here on hybrids, and people come by, they're just interested in what we're doing. Everybody's welcome if you're interested in what we're doing. Buy-sell trades are acceptable here if they are vintage radio related. And if you have a question about a radio you're working on, a technical question, this is a good place to ask because there's a lot of expertise reflected here by the members of the group. So, there's three of us here, and we'll kind of pass it around. We've been starting earlier and earlier as the propagation goes west with the sun, and I think we'll continue that as we get more and more into the fall. And we're looking forward to a big cold front and rainstorm tomorrow evening. It's been kind of warm here in Austin the last couple of days. All right. I'm going to talk to 3 or 4 people here, then I'll give it to Jay and then to Rusty, and we'll go around the table here. I'm going to call Dan, Matt, Mike. No, I'm going to call Ron first. He wanted to go first. Then we'll go to Dan and to Matt and so on. KG7BZ. What do you say, Ron? K5LY.
Yeah, thank you, Lynn. I got a want for a power cord for a Swan 117, 117CX power supply. Swan 117 power supply with that big weird plug on it with the fuse holder in it to plug it into the wall. I just need a cord for a 117 supply. Back to net, and good evening all around. KG5BZ. Thank you.
Well, you could talk to Richard. He probably has some whole supplies and stuff like that. He'd sell you cheap. He had some at Belton and also there at the South Texas Hamfest. But anyway, and you can also wire up, Ron, one yourself. Anything else for the net this evening? All right. Maybe not. Okay, let's see. KWOZ. Dan, bring us up to date. K5LY.
Yeah, good evening, Lynn, all the other boat anchor people on here. This is Dan in Houston, talking on the Kenwood TS-820. I finally, I fixed about 3 of these, but I forgot how I did it on every one. That mechanical part of the dial mechanism is a nightmare to straighten out. But I finally did this one. I've done 2 other ones, but it takes forever to figure out how to do it, and it's really a tricky job, I'll tell you that. It's easier to take the band switch out of a KWM2 and all that cabling and crap they have in there than it is to do this. Anyway, I got it working. Seems to be all right. Driving a Heathkit SB220, about 1,300 watts. The antenna's a 2-band bazooka up about 35 feet. And let's see, what else? There was something else I was going to ask about. I forgot. I'm working on an amplifier that used to work. Homebrew single 400. I'll be dang, I can't get 1 watt out of it. I have no clue what I'm doing wrong or what happened to it, what changed. Anyway, I've changed tubes a lot, and I'll forget about it pretty soon. That's all from here. Everybody sounds good. KWOZ, back. Oh, by the way, for Captain John there, check with Joseph. He's looking for the exact same thing. I guess enough people have bought those rigs from Richard, and none of them had the AC power connector on the power supply. So there's a bunch of people looking for that same plug. It's 15 pins, so that makes it an oddball. And there's a source I wanted to check the other day, didn't have time, but I'll try and check it out this week. But check with Joseph. He may have found a bunch of them by now. KWOZ. Thank you, Lynn.
Oh, Dan, you just explained to me why that was a problem. I didn't realize. That's right. That plug on the back. They did it that way because they also did their mobile supply that way, and I'd forgotten about all that. So that kind of explains why Ron was having trouble finding one. Okay. Hey, about the 4400 amplifier you're working on, is that grid driven or grounded grid by any chance?
Oh, it's just grounded grid. It used to work. I mean, I used it as a tube tester for 3500s, 3400s, 4400s, and it puts out about 600 watts. I put it in the corner, and now it doesn't work. And I've kind of rebuilt it, and it still doesn't work. But I've tried 6 different tubes. Still doesn't work. I'm confused.
Ah, pretty weird corner. Okay. Good luck with it. Keep us posted. I'll be wondering what happened. All right, Dan, you're sounding good tonight. Hey, satisfy my curiosity. When your audio sounded funny a while ago, something about a knob on the radio. What was going on there?
You mean before the net?
Yeah, before the net.
Oh, heck, it's one of those Heil mics. It's got a switch for high and low audio, and every now and then when I pick it up, I flip that switch to the high, so it sounds kind of screechy.
Boy, it sure did. It was bizarre. All right, that answered the question. Thank you, Dan.
All right.
All right. Now that I've had a chance to get things going, let me talk about this radio a little bit, then we'll pick up a couple more people. This is a cheap and easy SSB, a circuit that appeared in QST in 1956. KG7TR Mike built this particular version in the year 2012, and he added some expertise that didn't exist back in 1956. It's built on the chassis of a command set vintage World War II radio, and much of the VFO circuitry comes from that World War II radio. Phasing type single sideband exciter, and there's two 1625s, and I'm getting about 45 watts out of it, and that is driving my Collins 30L1 up to about 250 watts. All right, that's the station here. Let me see here. I said I was going to talk to Matt, KK5DR. How about it, Matt, K5LYN?
Alrighty, this is KK5DR, and still on my Yaesu Fox Tango 102. Got the matching VFO for it, so I'm phase lock looped on 3870 here, operating off of a memory channel right now, and also have the matching spooker for this radio and the Yaesu MD1 desk mic. 190 watts out, and that's going up into my 250-foot double ZEP at 60 feet off the ground. And there was an inquiry last week on the net as to AM filters for a 102. I checked my stock of spare parts. No filters in there whatsoever, but all is not lost. I have a very rare, highly sought after AM/FM board for the 102. It resides currently in a carcass 102. So if you want it, you have to take the carcass too. I'm not going to bother taking it out. I'm going to throw it all in a box, and that's what you're going to get. If you don't want the rest of it, take the board out of it and do whatever you want. But there's more than one way to get it out of my shop. There you go, Lynn and everybody. If somebody needs a FT102 AM/FM board, it is in there. Condition unknown. Probably it works. Maybe. I don't know. No way to test it, so I'm not going to bother. So contact me via email. I'm good on cures in that case. And been on the same email address for a long time. Anyway, that's how things are going tonight here on the Fat Chicken Ranch, Page, Texas, KK5DR.
Hey, Matt, a question about that board. If it's not in there, can you do any kind of AM transmitted signal, a single sideband with carrier or anything, or is it out of the question?
Without that board, you have no AM or FM on the 102 at all.
Okay, that's that era when they assumed AM was going away forever. It didn't. All right, let me talk to Mike here. If he's still around, then I'll give it to Jay. N5MOK. Hey, Mike, you still there somewhere? K5LYN.
Oh, yeah, Lynn. Good evening to you and everybody on there. It's Mike up in Kilgore. Tonight I'm on my old PS520, running barefooted, crossing into an MC50 Mazda. Picked her up at the Hempstead South Belton. And forget what I got you for, you better one budge. But anyway, of course, the old antenna on Inverted Bay went up temporary. Inverted Bay's been up about 18 years, and but anyway, other than that, everything's going good. Back to you there, N5MOK.
All right, Mike, hearing you just fine. Good to hear you this evening. Okay, let's see, Jay, why don't you pick it up, and while you and Rusty are talking, I'll get over on the Collins 310B from 1948 and Heathkit sideband adapter from 1959. KM5QS and the Boat Anchors, the finest hour of amateur radio, K5LYN.
All right, Lynn, this is KM5QS, and this evening I'm operating a set of Kenwood Twins, the 599 Deltas, using a gold, well, it's not a, it's a Night Eagle D104 that seems to like the radio pretty well, pushing the signal out through a pair of 3CX800s to homebrew antenna system, tuner, and all that kind of good stuff. I was eating dinner and didn't have a chance to make a list, so I'll just take y'all one or two at a time. So who's next for the Boat Anchors Unlimited net? Come now, please.
Charlie Delta.
X-ray Golf.
November Oscar Bravo.
Okay, I got three there. Charlie Delta, go ahead, Mike.
Okay, Jay, thanks for letting me in. Before it slips my mind, I just wanted to pass along the KK5DR that I was looking for that board and the filter, of course, for another ham. So what I'm going to do is pass the information along to him. I'm going to get out of the middle, and you may or may not hear from him. If you don't hear from him, I'm sorry, and thanks for the effort. I sure appreciate it. Okay, Jay, so tonight I'm on the TS520S Kenwood using an MC50 microphone, and that runs to my SB201 running about 450 watts, and via coax that goes out to my dipole up about 25 feet. So I kind of assume it's sounding okay. Getting a little bit of, I need to turn my anti-vox up. It's clicking in and out. It only does that once in a while, but I can get that out of there. Anyway, weather here was real nice today, a little warm, but pretty. And I got my new hearing aids yesterday, and I'm enjoying wearing those. That's about it from New Braunfels. Back to you, Jay, KL7 Charlie Delta.
Okay, Mike. Well, it's the 520 sounding fine. I mean, it's Kenwood, so we're not prejudiced or anything. You know how that goes. No, it really does sound good, Mike. And like that. So next I have here, let's see, what have I got? Bob, KA5CXG. Go ahead.
Okay, Jay. K5CXG out here at Snangelo. Not much going on the old 520 tonight. No Turner, Mike, and just old March tuner, that kind of thing. Everybody's coming in real well. Looking forward to the cool weather coming in the next couple of days, and hope everybody has a good week. And damn, that 820 sounds good. Are you going to keep it or sell it, or what are you going to do with it? Over.
Yeah, I'll keep it for a little bit, Bob. Make sure the bugs are out, then I'll probably sell it off and get something to fill the slot.
Okay, I understand. That's what everybody does. Well, it sure sounds good. I have one. I'd like to have another one. Who knows? Anyway, I'll be listening. And that's it, Jerry. You sound good on those trans. Did you ever get the other transmitter to work? Over.
Yes, Bob, I did. It still needs a little work. I think there's a switch on the back of them that goes between transceive when you're using both of them together and when you're using them separate. And when you put it in the transceive position, the transmitter won't work. So I got a funny feeling that switch might be messed up. Probably be tomorrow sometime. I'm going to exhume it from the carcass and check it out. And if that's all it is, I'll be a real lucky person, Roger.
Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah, well, good luck. I'm kind of curious to know. Anyway, we'll see y'all later, and everybody have a good week. K5CXG.
Okay. And by the way, Bob, I did, putting it in a separate position, I did get the transmitter to load up and work fine. So, other than that, everything's cool. Thank you, Bob. Okay, John, go ahead. NOB?
Yeah, hello, Jay, and everybody on the net. My name is John, located in Alice, Texas, about 6 miles south of Jay. Running a TS530SP, about 100 watts into a inverted 160-75 meter antenna, about 55 feet. I feel it's still sounding good since Jay did the work on it.
Oh, yeah, it sounds great.
Oh, good. I'm glad. I've been using it on 40 meters at night here pretty often, just working into Europe, and it seemed to be working good.
Dang, I may have to get another hat. No, I mean, I'm not just saying it sounds great because I put the caps in it, but it does.
Well, Roger, and I appreciate it. Y'all, I'll be listening. Take care. KC5 and OB.
Okay, John, thanks for checking in. All right, who's next for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now, please.
N5JJI.
Well, go ahead.
Well, okay. This is N5JJI. Handles Ed. Working on a Kenwood 530S stock hand mic. And into my SB201. Out to through a super tuner and out to 160 meter fed 160 meter loop fed with open wire line. And everybody's sounding good tonight. I've been playing around with my Belton purchase of an HW101. My only complaint is it doesn't have a noise blanker, and man, it grabs the noise. But other than that, it's fun to work with it. Nothing else. Back to that. N5JJI.
Okay, Ed. Good deal. Well, it's sounding okay down here. No problems with that. And let me see. Just as an aside, the last 5 radios have all been, well, 6 including mine, have all been 500 series Kenwoods. How about that? 3 520s, 2 530s, and a set of 599s. And then Dan was on an 820. I think Kenwood is running away with the show tonight. All right, folks. Let's see. Who's next for the net? Come now, please.
KC5L.
AXW. The swans haven't migrated yet.
Evidently not. Rusty, could you hear those 2 that just checked in?
Yeah. One of them I got, it was AXW.
Okay, the reason I'm saying that is because they're real light on me, so if you want to go ahead and take a turn, I'd be more than happy. KM5QS to WK5R.
KM5QS, WK5R. Well, I'm on the HD37. My phone is a WRL sound-off SB44. And I'm driving a Homebrew GS35BM. All right, AXW, go ahead.
Yeah, hello, Rusty in the net. This is K5AXW on the east side of Dripping Springs. We're running the National NCX3 into getting a little help out of recently upped FL2100B through 240 on it, so we got about 25% improvement on it. But the 240 line was a royal pain to run, but it's in and it's working. That goes out to low-mounted, off-center fed dipole, and everybody's coming in pretty good tonight. Sounds like a good net, and you're coming in just fine, Rusty. Good to see you at Belton and everybody else. Back to net, K5AXW.
All right, forget the bill. Is that right?
I'm sorry, I had the volume down. What was that?
Your name's Bill, is it?
Roger.
I thought I had the right one. Okay. Yeah, sounds good there, Bill. Yeah, nice to see you, too. And I'll have to go back and see if I can pick up that other station that tried to check in. Come now.
Whiskey 5 Tango Lima Juliet.
W5TLJ. Go ahead, Terry.
I'm not on a boat anchor, but I'm on a Kenwood TS570 Delta running about 95 watts to all center fed dipole.
Roger, roger. Well, it's working for you. Good to hear you there. All right. Who else for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now.
WB5TXW.
All right, TXW, go ahead.
Hey, Rusty. Well, I guess this thing is working. Hello, all around the net. From WB5TXW for the finest hour of amateur radio for the week. I had to get the combination right on the lock knob on the transmitter. So I'm on the S line, 32S175S3, barefoot, 75-meter dipole, sure 444, all the usual stuff. Rusty, over.
Roger, George. That sounds good there. And with the fellow that's tuning up, please zero beat us. Anything else for the net, George?
Well, not for the net, but I heard you all out there in Wills Point had an F0 tornado. I hope you weren't too close to that.
About 4 miles. Didn't get anything over here, but one of the trailer parks I go into with the bus there had some damage. Barn down there somewhere that blew down, and a bunch of tin come up through there. It was strode from the back of the trailer park out to the highway. And one guy had a chain link fence, and some of that tin hit, and it kind of folded it in on the west side. But that's all I saw here, over.
Well, that's good. I have a sister up in North Dallas who was somewhere near that last tornado there, and I can bore you to death with tornado stories, but I won't. So 7-3 to you, Rusty, and all around the net, WB5TXW back to net.
Okay, George, we'll catch you later there. I think it wiped out a Home Depot up there. I noticed that, and it's showing some damage over in Rockwall on the news a while ago. All right, who else for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now.
KB5SQJ.
KB5SQJ, was that right?
Last letter is G as in golf.
Oh, SUG, go ahead.
Roger, good evening, all members here on the net. And I was just wondering if Byron had checked in or not. He had repaired my radio and got it back today, and I was hoping he'd be listening so I could hear what it sounds like. I hope I'm sounding okay to you guys. I'm located here in Granbury, Texas. And that's all I've got here for the net. This is KB5SQG, back to net control.
Okay, I caught most of that. Somebody come in there on top of you. Where did you say you was located at, and what is the radio?
This TS820S and I'm located here in Granbury, Texas. Granbury, Texas.
Oh, Roger, on the Granbury. Yeah, over on the other side of Dallas there. I know where you're at. All right, 830 sounds good. Or 820, rather. Sounds good
I'm
there.
glad to hear that.
Anything else for the net?
You guys should hear from Byron. Let him know I did check in, and the radio's sounding good. So I appreciate this very much, gentlemen.
Okay, we'll do that. All right, who else for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now. Anybody else want to check into the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now.
Yes, I am okay.
Is that you, Mokey?
Yeah, question for all Rusty.
I can just barely hear you, Mike, but go ahead.
Okay, what out Rusty made out on that tornado up there at Wills Point. Wondering how Rusty made out at that tornado up there at Wills Point, how close it was to his house.
I didn't see a whole lot of bad damage, but there was some, Mike.
Okay, yeah, I was being shipping or something. I'm not hearing everybody as well. Okay, appreciate it. N5, I'm okay.
All right, thank you, Mike. All right. Anybody else for the Boat Anchors Unlimited net? Come now. Hearing nobody. K5LYN, WK5R. Your turn, Lynn.
Well, before I talk too long, let's make sure it sounds right and that I'm on the right frequency.
Yep. Go for it. It's there.
Okay. All right. Well, this is K5LYN, Lynn in Austin, and I have shifted gears here. This station started out its life in 1948 when Collins released their first permeability-tuned oscillator VFO to be the exciter for their various AM rigs of that time period. This is a 310B, and I'm using it to be the VFO for Heathkit's 1959 single sideband adapter, which they call the SB10. And this was a little gimmick that they sold that you could match up with your Johnson Viking Ranger or your Valiant or your Viking 2 or your Heathkit DX100 or your Heathkit Apache or your Collins AM rig or your homebrew AM rig, and make it talk a primitive kind of single sideband. I used it to convert the Heathkit DX60 novice rig over to single sideband, which is putting out about 45, 50 watts maybe, and I'm using that now to drive the same Collins 30L1 that I was on a while ago. So you'll probably notice it doesn't have great sideband suppression. It doesn't have great carrier suppression, but that's the way it was in Heathkit's first attempt to build a single sideband transmitter. All right, let's see. Who else is out there who wants to talk boat anchors tonight? And by the way, AXW, Bill, your National NCX3 sounded really good. Who else for the boat anchors? K5LYN, calling and listening.
Kilo Echo 5, Quebec.
KE5Q, talk to us.
Yeah, K5LYN. This is Kilo Echo 5, Quebec. Jim in Plano. Tonight I'm on the KWM2, also driving same amplifier you have there, the 30L1. And you're sounding real good on that. I can hear just a little bit of carrier, but that's the way it was. Over.
Yeah, I can reach over and twist that carrier out, but it comes back. You know, it doesn't stay gone. So, but I don't think it's so bad I'm on AM. Over.
Oh, no, it sounds real good. It sounds, I think it sounds excellent, considering it's an SB10 there. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's, you know, it was a step. I mean, I guess Heathkit had to go through this step before they got to where they were going with the hot water and the other series radios, which were really pretty good.
Oh, it is. It does sound real good. I used to have an SB10 there with the Apache. Anyway, yeah, I'm on the KWM2. I wonder how it sounds tonight going into the double bazooka 8040 this evening, and the microphone is a Shure 444.
Yeah, Jim, it sounds great. Great audio, and, you know, I guess we've all kind of... I'm actually on D104 right now, but most of us have gone to the Shure 44. There's so few of these D104s that still sound right. But, yeah, it's you got a beautiful signal in Dawson.
Okay, appreciate it, Lynn. Appreciate you guys calling the net. K5LYN, KE5Q Plano.
Okay, who else for the boat anchors? K5LYN, calling and listening.
KA5LYL.
LYL, talk to us, Todd.
Yes, sir. Hello, Lynn. Are you ready for my? I have a boat anchor want too.
Yeah. We got a lot of people waiting in line, so kind of, you know, shave it down to a minimum of words. But yeah, we'll be glad to talk to you about it.
Okay. Hey, Lynn, and everybody on the KA5LYL, Todd Corpus. Let's see, just modern rig right now, and driving an SB200 that's been redone. All center fed dipole, rig's a 590 SG Kenwood, and a Heil microphone. I have a boat anchor want. I got one of Rusty's rebuilt power supplies. Seems to work real good. Rusty's rebuilt 117 XC power supplies, I should say. Works real good. Like to get a Swan HF radio to put it on. The one I got with it, of course, you know, issues. Oh well. Let's see. I'm open to what kind of Swan radio. Any of the ones that are compatible, which is just about all of them, with the 117 XC speaker power supply. Please email me or at ka5lyl@yahoo.com or talk to me here on the radio, and we can move off and discuss it. I want one that's nice and it's been gone through. I don't want to have to do anything to it, but unpack it, plug it in, and hook it up and use it. Back to net. Thanks, Lynn. Sound good as always. KA5LYL.
Okay, good to hear you, Todd. And I'll tell you what, if you'll recap that Swan you've got, replace the paper and electrolytic caps, it'll work like a brand new radio. It's not that hard to do. But if you don't want to do that, KA5LYL's looking for a restored Swan that he can plug and play with. All right, let's move on. Who else for the boat anchors? K5LYN calling and listening.
W5TS.
Hey, Scott, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Lynn. I've got a quick boat anchor question for you.
Okay, put it to us.
I've got a Helicopters SX100, works great, but it's got original cat. Should I wait till it craters on me, or should I go ahead and replace them now, even though it's working fine?
Well, you need to replace them now because they're all leaking, and that's awfully hard on the power transformer.
Okay. Well, I'll get with Hayseed Handfasting and get a kit. They've got one for it, and I'll get to work, Lynn. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're sounding good tonight, and yeah, that radio will work fine, but the paper and the electrolytic caps are all bad, and, people always say, oh, you don't have to do that. Yes, you do, because the next time I talk to the person who argued with me, their radio didn't work, so keep me posted on that project.
Will do, and we'll be listening for you next week, Lynn.
Okay. Hey, you still working that part-time job?
I am. November 2nd's my last Saturday, and then I'll be back in with you and George on Saturday morning.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for reminding me. Yeah, we get together for breakfast at El Nuevo, Mexico, Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. Don't come earlier because they don't open the door until 8 a.m. Look forward to seeing you, Scott. Okay, who else for the net? K5LYN calling and listening. Okay. I know there's some people out there in Oklahoma, New Mexico, Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, KB0UOZ. Perry, where are you? Or anybody else out there wants to talk boat anchors? K5LYN calling and listening.
KC5L.
KC5L, talk to us.
Hey, good evening, Lynn, and the Boat Anchors Net. It's Tom, KC5L in San Antonio, and tonight we're running the usual here, talking on a Central Electronics 200B, D104 microphone, Palstar Balance Line tuner, homebrew open wire line, and a 100-foot doublet of about 15 feet. And we're listening on an R390A. So I'll keep it short. That's all I have. Back to you, KC5L.
As always, the 200B sounds like a modern radio, spectacular. Did I miss you at Belton, Tom? Were you there this time?
I was there, but no, I didn't see you there. I guess we didn't cross paths. I did leave a little bit early, so that might have been an issue as well. But yeah, sorry to have missed you at Belton, but maybe we'll hook up next time.
Yeah, we've only met that one time when you bought the 200B, but I was keeping my eye out for you, but I wasn't sure I'd recognize you. Well, sorry we missed. I was there Friday until it got too hot to be there, and then I didn't stick around a long time Saturday either because it was hot. But let's shoot for next time. Anything else on your end, Tom?
Nope, that's all I have. Back to net.
Okay, let me take one more, then I'll pass it around to the rest of the net controls. Who else for the boat anchors? K5LYN calling and listening. Well, Jay, it may be time for you to roust out these others. KM5QS, K5LYN.
Okay, KM5QS. We'll see what we can do, Lynn. It looks like this thing stayed on frequency for a change. Okay, don't have to adjust it. All right, folks, second time around on the Boat Anchors Unlimited this evening. Anyone else out there that can hear me well wants to check in, come now, please. Well, my goodness, don't be shy. If you don't have a boat anchor, but you're interested in what we're doing, you're welcome to check in. One thing and another like that. So, anyone out there, come now, please.
KM5QSKE5Q, back on another radio.
Yeah, Jim, go ahead.
Yeah, I moved over to the Hot Water 12 Alpha, HW12A. Wonder how it sounds.
Well, it's a little light to me, but I can understand what you're saying, and you're making the trip.
Little too much audio, I think, Jim.
Power, but anyway, just thought we'd try it out so nobody else came back. KM5QS, KE5Q, thanks.
Okay, Jim. Lynn had a comment, and I think he's probably right. Sound like the audio's a little hot, but it was understandable. So anyway, that's all I know.
Yeah, back it off just a little bit, Jim.
All right, let me back off a little bit. I backed off of it there. Is that any better or still too hot?
No, I think it's you're still strong in Austin. You might come down just a little bit more.
Okay, there. I backed off a little bit more. KE5Q.
Yeah, I like it quite a bit better. What do you think, Jay?
Yeah, I can't hear him now.
Well, I guess the band's changing on us. No, he's still strong in Austin. You got it right there, Jim. Over.
All right, very good. Appreciate it. I know where to leave it there. I just hardly ever use this rig. KE5Q. Thanks, Lynn. Thanks, Jay.
Yeah, band must be changing, Jay, because he's still barreling in here. Over to you, Jay. K5LYN.
Oh, okay, Lynn. Yeah, it came back up a little bit. It was just taking a fade, I guess. But I could hear him there when he signed the second time. All righty, we'll try again. Anyone else out there for the Boat Anchors Unlimited?
K0 SCD.
Aha, got you, Steve. Go ahead.
Well, good evening, Jay, to all the boat anchors and derelicts out there. K0 SCD and Tyler. We're tonight. I'm on a Kenwood 520 and a 30L1, and that's about it from Tyler, Texas. Beautiful day. Going to get wet though. Back to you, Jay. K0 SCD.
All righty, Steve. Well, it's been hot for too long, so we need to cool off a little bit. They can keep them cotton picking thunderstorms, though. All right, Steve. Anything else?
No, that's it, Jay. Have a good time.
We always do. Well, most of the time, anyway.
Hey, Jay.
Thank you, Steve. Anyone else for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now, please.
Hey, Jay, got a question.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Do you want a box for a 922?
No. Wait a minute. Do I have a box for a 922? I don't think so.
Well, if you do, I've got one. I'm going to throw it away unless you want it.
I'd love it.
I'll bring it to Belton next time.
Okay. That'll work. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Good enough. K0 SCD.
Thank you, Steve. All right, folks. Nobody answers me this time. I'm going to pass it back to Rusty. Anyone else? Well, WK5R, KM5QS. Go get them, Rusty.
KM5QS, WK5R. Well, all right. Anybody else out there that hasn't, we haven't talked to yet about boat anchors, want to check in, come now? Anybody else out there anywhere want to talk boat anchors with us, come now.
N5BTM.
Go ahead, Ralph.
Hey, Rusty in the net. This is N5BTM, Ralph and Spring. Just took a little break from the World Series game. It's tied up 2-2. Second inning. Anyway, old Heathkit green stuff again this evening, SP100. And that's driving a GS35B. About 600-700 watts. And it's nice and cool. Had a beautiful day here today, and everything looks like it's hunky-dory. Anyway, back to you, Rusty, WK5R, or WK5R, yeah, that's right, N5BTM.
N5BTM, WK5R. Yeah, the heat kit sounds fine there, Ralph. You might be just a little bit down the band. But other than that, sounds good. All right, anybody else for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now. One more call. Anybody else for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now. Well, I don't hear anybody else. You want to give her another try, Lynn, or what do you want to do?
Yeah, I'll tell a story. Am I still in good shape?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, this is K5LYN returning. A lot of things are said about the stability of vacuum tube circuits. Let me tell a story here. Both these stations I've been on tonight, I warmed up for an hour and a half before the net time. The cheap and easy SSB, I set it on 3870 with my Yaesu 706 Mark II G, and I never changed it. I never readjusted it during the time that I was calling the net with that. Then I switched over to this Collins Heathkit vintage station with the Collins PTO from 1948, and I did the same thing before the net, except I didn't change it from last week. I haven't reset this VFO from where I had it last week. And so just turning it on and warming it up put it back on the frequency here, apparently, which is pretty amazing. All right, this is K5LYN on the Collins 310B, Heathkit SB10 Exciter, DX60, Novice Rig, all of that driving the Collins 30L1. Who wants to talk boat anchors? K5LYN, calling and listening. Well, have I talked everybody to death? Maybe so. Anybody else out there? If not, we're going to wind her down. K5LYN. I'll say my 73s and pass it over to Jay and Rusty, and we'll eventually get this thing back to normal amateur abuse. Jay, pick it up. K5LYN, 73s and listening out.
All righty, Lynn. Yeah, good deal. It's still a pretty good net. I forgot about the World Series. That's probably why we were a little light, but we still had over 20 check-ins. So not too shabby. And all of them sounded good. Of course, most of them were Kenwoods. So. Oh, wait a minute. I'm not supposed to be biased. Anyway. All right, folks, this is the last call from my station for the Boat Anchors Unlimited. Come now. Well, we appreciate everybody that checked in this evening. It's always fun. We'll do it again next Wednesday at probably somewhere around 7 o'clock instead of 7:30, because the days roll on and the band goes out quicker. We get a few more in, so we may be starting early for a little while. And thank everybody for being here. And I'm going to send it to Rusty, and you can tie the ribbon, Rusty. KM5QS to WK5R.
KM5QS, WK5R. Oh, I bumped my knob. Hello. Hang on just a second. There we go. Let's chill off a little bit. Hello. 1, 2. Okay. 2. Man, there we go. Still getting off a little bit. Anyway, thank everybody for checking in. We'll look for you next week. And hope to see y'all back for another finest hour of amateur radio. This is WK5R for the Boat Anchors Unlimited net. Now closing the net and returning the frequency back to normal amateur abuse. WK5R is clear and switching radios.
Hey, Rusty, you got a minute?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Okay, I moved up just a notch or hair lash, so that help any?
Yes, it did, Ralph. It sure did.
I like it, Ralph.
Yeah, okay. Well, I was trying to take the trash out a while ago, in between innings and all that stuff, get on the radio, and I didn't listen around enough to, get right on everybody. I thought I had done that earlier in the evening, but the old green machine drifted a little bit. But I'm glad it's pretty much on you now. You sound pretty good, so. Anyway, well, 73s, everybody, and catch you later. N5BTM.
All right, catch you later, Ralph. I'm going to switch radios. WK5R.
Sounds really good here, too, Ralph. KM5QS.
Thank you, Jay. Appreciate it.
Well, this is the first time I haven't re-zeroed a radio from the week before.
Well, I was noticing this evening, I turned these twins on about, I don't know, 5:30, 5 o'clock, something like that. And, of course, they moved around for quite a while. But once we got going, the technical specs on it is 100 cycles with any 30-minute period after about an hour of warm-up. and they have exceeded that. They've done better than that, so I'm kind of tickled.
Well, they sound good as gold, Jay. Now, is that a vacuum tube driver and tube finals?
Yeah, that's it. The receiver is solid state, but the transmitter is the 12BY7 and a pair of 6146s.
Boy, it's good as gold, you know. And I'm a hardcore, in terms of vintage solid state radios, a hardcore Kenwood fan. They are great. You know, when you take one apart, you see how well they were built. It's amazing.
Oh yeah, it is. Actually, when you were there at Corpus, did you see that set of twins over there by the door?
Well, now, are you talking about the ones that Mighty Nice Weather had?
Yep.
He told me he sold them to you, so I missed them.
Oh, okay. Well, then that tells me about when you were there. I don't know what I was doing, but oh well. Anyway, yeah, they are cleaner than the ones I got at Belton, to be honest with you. Got a couple of little issues, but the receivers, one of the hottest receivers I have. The transmitter needs a couple of switches, I think. I'll figure it out anyway, but I did get it to load up, and it's good. And I picked up a Yaesu. I don't know why. I just couldn't help myself. Picked up the Yaesu FT401 Bravo. We'll see if that ever gets on the air or not.
Well, you know, when I hear all the Yaesus and I hear all the Kenwoods, I end up being a Kenwood fan. And in terms of Yaesu, I had 2 Yaesu mobile rigs. They both quit. The display played out on them, and the microphones failed on both of them. I had out in the country, I had a Yaesu rotator, and it failed. I mean, Yaesu doesn't work with me.
Yeah, I understand. Well, I've had Yaesus before. I had some 901s, and I had a 101E one time, a long time ago, and I had an 890, Yaesu 890, which was a really good radio. But other than that, I've been pretty much on the Kenwood trail myself.
They're hard to beat.
Yep. But that big old 401 was just looking so good, and he didn't want hardly any money for it, so I figured, what the heck.
Yeah, have you fired it up?
Not yet. I've been concentrating on the twins, but as soon as I get them lined up, I'll probably put it up on the bench.
About what years does it date to?
Oh, I looked that up the other day. Oh, wait a minute. No, I tried to look that up the other day. It was, I think, just after the 560 and stuff like that. So they're back there a ways. I mean, it's all tubes. So it's probably in the 60s.
Well, it probably needs some cap replacement, too.
It could be. The fellow I got it from said he had it fired up, and he'd had all the tubes out and checked them. He might have replaced some of the caps too, but he was having a little bit of trouble when he was loading it up. He couldn't get it to the plate to dip, and I've got my suspicions that there might have been something he wasn't doing right in the procedure of loading it, but I don't know for sure yet. I'll know when I fire it up anyway.
Jay?
Well, if it's all tubes, those caps are too old.
Oh, yeah. Who said, hey, Jay?
It's KK5DR.
Yeah, go ahead, Matt.
I'm thinking that 401's about 1971, 72. You can tell by the serial number on the first digit of the serial number is the last digit of the year, provided you know what decade it was made in. But I'm thinking it's like 71, 72.
Okay. The first number of the serial number is the second number of the year?
It's the last digit of the year it was manufactured. The letter after that is the month.
Okay, I thought I wrote the serial number down on the manual, but I guess I didn't. I did on the others, but I'll go look sometime. Okay, I got it. I wish Kenwood had an easy way to figure out what year model their serial numbers went with, but they don't.
I don't know if it applies to those radios, but the typical way of figuring out the approximate date of the radio, if it has crystals in it, is to pull the crystal and look. There's usually a date there.
Well, that's a good idea.
Yeah, you know, the crystal could be a little older than the radio, but usually they're pretty close.
Yeah, like I say, if somebody has changed the crystal out, then all bets are off.
And that could happen, but kind of unlikely, you know, especially if there's something like a crystal calibrator in there or something like that. But usually if it's a plug-in crystal and you pull it out, usually there's a date in there between the pins.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I know right where the crystal calibrator and that 401 is, too.
Well, if this works, let me know. I'll be curious to see how you come out.
Okay.